But he is right, though. He did talk about Bill Busch. He did have a lot better idea of how to call a defense, it felt like. And Bill Busch, if I'm not mistaken, I think, last time he was defense coordinator was at Utah, if I'm not mistaken. He was over there at Utah with Kyle Whittingham. He was a part of that LSU staff, if I'm not mistaken, when they had Burrow and some of those guys out there when they won that national championship. So, yeah, I mean, Bill Busch, he's been around for a while. He knows kind of what he's doing. And it just seems like it's he seems to know a lot more so probably how to utilize that staff or that roster that he has comparatively, right? And we've talked about this a lot, right? I don't know if Frost and Shenander, if they were just sort of doing basic things. I didn't really feel like in the first couple of games they were doing a whole lot of twists and blitzes and stuff like that. It just seemed like they were just lining up, and then the other teams were just sort of taking it to us. Man on man, we're going to beat you. And they beat our ass, man. That's what they did, in the first couple of games. And then when you started to see against Oklahoma, even with Shenander, even with some of these guys, that's when they started doing some of these more exotic things. They started doing more, twists and stunts and all this other stuff. They started dialing up more blitzes. And I think that was a big difference in the defense right there. Now, granted, Oklahoma beat us like a drum, a bass drum out there, but it was starting to set the tone for what we were going to do tonight against Indiana. And I think that was a very important part of it. So, again, NCAA playoff, I think you're right. I think Bill Busch did a lot better job at sort of, dialing up certain things and installing certain things and expecting more, right? I want to jump into this. Katrina Jensen, she says, wishbone, ... is a dial back to the past, a blast from the past. Chris, do you think we should maybe look at trying to run some more wishbone, some more triple option sort of stuff out there? Hello? Well, looks like Chris is taking a break for just a second there. I can't hear him. Katrina, I'll say this as far as the wishbone is concerned. I think it's certainly an interesting thing. One of the great things about it is, we've got a quarterback back there that could probably run the wishbone pretty well, and that would be Logan Smothers, I would like to think. I think if Smothers, you put someone like Smothers, Grant, Yant, some of these different guys in there, and you give them that opportunity to absolutely run this type of offense. I think it would be an absolute. I think it could be pretty interesting there, right?